Welcome to my next episode, episode 4 of Starsector. You'll notice that the layout is a little different this time. My intro is much more condensed. I hope if you enjoy it, please leave me a comment below. All the engagement you can do really helps out lowly content creators like myself. So please comment, like, subscribe. It really does help. Or if you're nervous, scared, or an introvert like myself, emoji will also do it as well in the comments. Now let's talk about Starsector. I had to change the resolution for Starsector. Okay, maybe not had to, but I should have. And I did. And here's the reason why. Starsector is only made by 4 people, and I'm not criticizing them. They're doing amazing work, great work. However, it doesn't quite work when I do the capture software, and it's probably not even their fault. It's the software I'm using. As a result, I have to use a smaller resolution so that way it can be seen better. It is, after all. Great game. Now let's get back to the game. So I loaded the game up. I'm basically at the planet that we left off on, and I'm looking, seeing if there's any missions I could do. This seems a bit far. I look at where it's going. Do I want to go there? No. So let's go back to the ships. Can I make profit from this? Well, that's a decent amount of money. But yes, that's actually not very much profit in that. Notice how the deficit's very very low. So I said, no profit in there as well. In fact, I'll lose money. So, and then I also have that ship that I got at the very end of the episode that I haven't upgraded. So I'm rearranging the ships to better suit the way how I want to see them. I only have 2 officers, and yes, I can get better officers, but let's think about it from Boyd's perspective. He's a lowly officer. He doesn't be outshone by his officer. So one of the officers can be promoted, and let's take a look at the different promotions. I'm not sure which one to get, so I'm looking at each one. I probably should have got the shield one. The shield one is probably its worth weight in gold. Shields are forever for the most part. The maneuverability is also nice as well, and I could see the maneuverability being useful. But look at that shield, the field modulation. Maneuverability, especially ballistic masteries. I'm getting a lot of ships right now with ballistics. So I think the other one's a defensive person. This was gonna be more offensive. I'm thinking ballistic mastery. I don't know if projectile speed's worth it, but on slower weapons it seems to take a little less time. So I think it would be worth it. So I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to make it master as well. So this person has 2 masteries. I believe that's their maximum number of masteries. And if worse comes to worse, I could get rid of this person, and I've only lost 2 skill points. I mean, story points. And you can get quite a few. So now it's time to try and upgrade the ship. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because this part, you have to remember, I'm still poor, and I'm still not in a place where I'm getting good stuff. I'm trying to collect weapons. I'm trying to get chips. But again, even when I do eventually start getting more rich, have more space bucks, I want to. One of my top goals is to colonize a planet, and I need to start exploring. And you don't want to have a large, expensive fleet that drains your funds and drains a ton of supplies unless you have to. Which is the other reason I don't want to get any high level officers. I want to just in case I do get into combat or I see a bounty and I want to practice up on my skills because one, I need more practice with combat. I'm playing this from a newbie's perspective. I haven't played Star Sector that long, so you get to see kind of newbie playing Star Sector. So I need to get a little bit more experience in combat. Likewise, EXP starts leveling up the character, and salvage, win-wins. But I don't want to be that as the primary goal. I'm going to need to start exploring. But my first primary goal is I need some space bucks. I need to get some money. So I'm going to resort to uh, thievery and salvage for right now. And I need to try and, or even taking, the odd missions. And I'm also going to start collecting D mods and weapons I think are important. Right now I have 115, now 110, rounded down 109K Oh, 106K. Boy, my money's draining fast. And yes, I know I'm not the richest person in the world, but right now I do have some excess funds. So I'm getting some weapons that I think that I want to have or use in the future. And I see that these domestic goods can be sold really well. It says, oh, look, here's turning in a mission. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think I can get 300 Marines. I'm real close to it right now, about halfway. Just pick up a few more Marines, and I should be able to make that raid and earn some even more money. But first, again, I'm collecting weapons. And the reason I'm collecting weapons is in the future, I'm going to start outfitting my ships. And you want a variety of weapons. You don't always want to depend on what's just on the market. So if you see weapons that you want to have or rare weapons that you think you may want to have in the future, I would recommend buying them and getting them. Right now, I'm a smuggler. And remember, you don't have to smuggle illicit goods. You can smuggle, you know, regular goods as long as it's a profit to be had. And that's what I'm doing, looking for profit. I'm slowing down the game. What I'm doing here is I'm looking at my options, and I'm going to look at the different factions. The Himenegi, the Luddic Church, and the Persian League are all my enemies. Of course, pirates as well. So I have four enemies, two of which the Himenegi's the basically like the federation of the group. They're the biggest power in the group, and I don't. I want to knock them down a notch. The Persian League isn't quite as powerful, but they can be, and they're right now actively against the Himenergy. So it's in my best interest to make sure both sides lose. I eventually also want allies, so I'm probably thinking the Royal Federation on top, blue, plus there's a bunch of anime chicks in there. So why not? And I haven't decided if I want any other allies. The Tachyon is probably another ally I kind of want. So I'm looking at them. All right, let's play this game. When I visit the bar, I notice that someone wants to talk about the prisoner, and essentially they're saying for 3,700 credits and a story point, I can get the prisoner without causing losing a bunch of Marines. And I thought about it for a moment. I do need Marines for later missions, so this 3,700 is worth it. And I'm kind of curious. I've never seen this situation occur. And yes, that means I'm making half as much money, and I'm also losing a story point. I says, let me try it. I've never, again, I haven't played that much in Star Sector, so I'm going for it. See what happens. Remember, I'm doing a voiceover from the future, and yes, I just mentioned I just accepted it. So here I go. Again, I'm slowing down the game right now because, again, this is stuff I've never done before or seen. And then I'm looking at this other mission. No, I definitely don't want it. I'll speed it up again. I mean, I'm sure for you vets, it's interesting. Before, if you're a new person like me, I've never seen some of these missions. And basically, it's saying, do I want to give up one of my ships and they'll give me some money? It says, well, I kind of need these ships. Or I'm sorry, I could buy one of those ships. And it's like, well, 2,700 seems a little expensive. And then this person says, if you have a colony, which I don't, decline. So there you go. And later on, you'll notice that I need to go to another planet. But I notice, hey, I can make a small amount of money. Is it worth it? Eh. That's a decent chunk of money. I can go to system. And I don't think I've gone to that system, and I want to check it out, see if it has a gate, so I could travel to and from it real fast. I have an Eagle class I need to outfit. I'm going to outfit as best I can just in case I get into some trouble or combat. But I'm going to have to go to another port to really outfit it. In retrospect, I probably messed up. I decided to do a raid regardless, but this time I'm going to see if I can get some illicit drugs. 87. Maybe I should reload it, but uh-oh, now I'm being chased by the authorities. Guess they didn't like what I just did to their planet. And I forget, you can't go back to the planet, so I go to a different planet to sell stuff. This Tri-Titan planet's being attacked. I don't have the forces to help them out, so I'm just buying what I can, adding more Marines. I probably lost more money than I got in that last, raid, but oh well, live and learn. And then I do a goof up. It's like, oh, what's happening here? It's not taking me to the right planet, so I have to manually find the planet myself. Sometimes autopilot is wonky. I did something wrong. I'm not sure what I did, but I accidentally destroyed and stopped recording about 5 to 7 minutes ago. As a result, you're missing some of the content. I'm starting to explore. I have a mission to the far east, and that's what you're seeing here. I'm looking for a planet, I believe, and I'm just searching for it now. And I'm also looking at various systems as I'm going to my objective. Oops, someone's attacking me. Why did I mess up my recording? I think if I tape for too long, it automatically stops. Oh, here's the mission objective. And this is where I get rich. Okay, so I slow down the game and I do the exploring and I see, oh, blueprints. Great. Oh, look, battleships. It says, huh, why is it grayed out like that? I do remember picking up some blueprints earlier, but I don't remember what they were because my memories. When you get 50 plus years old, sorry, your memory starts going sometimes on the little stuff. And it says, okay, take everything, sword, and then I try to right click. Is it why can't I right click? Then I realize I already know these blueprints. Oh boy, let me save the game. I for sure don't want to lose them. And then I said, oh wait, I have a mission objective. I need to do the mission objective. But this, and then I saw a derelict ship, just salvage it. So I have some very valuable commodities that I already have. They're a duplicate of blueprints I have, and I'm noticing all the stuff I could salvage, so that's why I'm salvaging. And I did this, and I forgot to pick up the pods in my haste because I'm a little excited. It's like, oh boy. And I believe I got the survey as well. I just need to turn it in. And this is only a frigate. I don't want to get it, even though there's only one D mod. I'm gonna start accepting, be more accepting of frigates, I think, or of ships in general. It's just, huh? That's moving towards me. I don't want to move it. Okay, so now I remember. Oh, I need to do the survey. That's right. I didn't have enough equipment of all things. I came out to do the survey, and someone forgot to buy heavy equipment. Again, when you get 50 plus years old, you sometimes make mistakes. But luckily, I was able to salvage enough equipment, and we're got the stuff. And I'm reading over objective because I see an exclamation point, and I thought I needed to do something. So I'm going to turn it in. Looks like a valuable planet as well. But since I'm here, I'm going to look for other planets as well. I don't have to turn this mission objective in. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm thinking I could just sell those blueprints to someone and make a profit off of it. But who? I'm thinking independence. Because what if I give it to the wrong faction and they become overpowered, or worse yet, they become my enemies? And then I'm fighting them with overpowered enemies. I've upgraded my ships as well, so I think I should be able to take these. So let's go for it. Worst comes to worst, I've saved it recently, but again, I'm trying not to save stuff, so you get to see me in my prime trying to take on ships. I'm so terrible in combat. I don't think I even fired on a single ship. My fleet killed them out for me. I think I'm overpowered. Not really. I just don't have the right ship for myself. In small engagements like this, probably a frigate would have been better. But I'm going to explore, see if I can find a gate and or a decent planet. Another thing I need to start doing, which I'll probably be doing more on the next save, is looking and surveying the planet. And I see some more ships, so let's attack them. And I'm being more aggressive because I realized that these ships aren't that tough. And sure enough, I blew two of them up myself. It's like, holy cow. Wham. All right, there you go. Like, hey, I'm doing it. All right, this is going to be a much larger fleet, but based on how well I did last time, it should be a piece of cake, right? Let's find out. Okay, so far so good. Oh, big ship. Better concentrate on it. It's not looking at me, so no need to have the shields up. And that small ship was barely pecking me. Holy cow, I won again. You vets are probably laughing at me, but hey, newbies can be noob and be successful. I need to turn in a mission, and then I got stuff to sell. As I'm doing that, oh, I find a jungle planet. Not the best, but could be really useful. Only bad thing is there's no jump gates here. So I need to find either a jump gate close by. This could be my first planet, perhaps. I have to do a little bit more research on how to make a planet, but colonizing a new planet is one of my goals, and I want to do it. I actually colonize multiple planets and have them successful. And then I'm spinning a story point. Where should I spin it on? the industry one is useful, but I'm not using it right now. And I don't think I have enough people who use that skill, but I pick it up anyways. Because I will have more officers. I'm just looking over these other planets, see if they're even useful. If I could find a really good planet next to this one, this could be my capital. But again, I need to find a gateway close, and I see what are these? I better save them just in case. And I still don't know what those are. I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me what they are, but don't save the spoilers. Don't spoil anybody. I encountered this system, and this is one of those weird systems. These lights, they're stars that repulse you. I guess they're pulsars. Blank system. Again, I'm looking for a system that has like some type of gateway or something. And yes, I probably could use the cheats and find them. Oh, look, I found a gateway. Perfect. And then again, one of these pulsars is like, and I says, I could salvage some of these, see if some of them are good, but none of them are to my liking. I'm really debating about this ship, and I wasted story points in getting it. In reality, I think I wasted a story point here. I don't think I needed a story point. I could just bought the ship and save my story point. Technically, for those who are not aware, you get an infinite amount of story points. It takes more. You get four per level, and you only have a maximum of 15 levels. So I don't have any mods to increase that. After 15, it takes a sizable amount of EXP to get a story point, and each level becomes increasingly harder and harder to level. It takes more and more EXP, in other words. As a result, story points become less and less frequent. And once you max level, they even become more so because you get some additional bonuses when you level to get story points. And without that bonus, you're just relying on pure EXP. And because you're 15 plus, it's taking you millions of EXP to get story points at that point. I decided to save the game here. If I was smart, I would have made a separate copy. And the reason I'm saving the game is I'm going to sell my blueprints here. I decided that Freeport, independent Freeport, should have it. And the reasoning is I believe anyone who gets these blueprints can start making these ships. So the independents should be able to start defending their ships. And I don't want this Freeport to be fall to enemies. As a result, they should have a strong fleet. On the flip side, I hope that doesn't mean that random independents are going to have these ships, and as a result, I can't attack random independents. On the other flip side, I don't plan on, if you notice, I have nothing against the independents. In fact, I'm kind of even helping them out. They're not a real faction. As a result, I'm not actively going against them. I'm actively going against the other factions. Right now, the Persians and the Hermenergy are the two factions I'm going after. And the Luddic Church, perhaps. And the pirates, more so, yes. And I don't consider pirates a true faction, so I'm not really actively against them. But I don't consider them friends either. They're more like friend enemies. But I sell it off. The other thing you notice is that those blueprints were estimated at 1.8, but I only got, I'm sorry, 2.8, but I only got 1.8. Hey, 1.8 million is still 1.8 million I didn't have before the start of this episode. And it's the most space bucks I've ever had in this game ever. And I want to buy a new ship. And instantly I'm thinking I could get a battle cruiser, I get a salvage rig. But the other thing I'm thinking in my mind is I still need to explore and look for those colony plants. If I buy an expensive ship now, the only bad thing is I'm going to have to pay a ton of maintenance, and big ships are tend to be slow. And the bad thing about slow ships is, well, it takes more time to get someplace. And so as a result, it's a lose-lose situation. And then of course there's maintenance money. Having a big ship means you need bigger crew. Having multiple ships means you need more crew, and you have to pay maintenance on both the crew, pay their wages, pay wages on the ships, and it's going to cost you more money. So I'm going to hold off buying a huge ship. I may buy. And again, this is me from the future. I am going to buy one more ship, but only because I do want some firepower. If I get attacked or if I see something I want to attack, I need to have some teeth, and I'm I don't have quite enough ships to augment my fleet yet. So I want one more big ship to say yes, I could bring the fire to a punch now. Everything except a large overwhelming fleet, I should be able to take on, or at least bloody their nose to a point where they don't want to attack me. Now with that being said, I do need more cargo. So I'm looking for a good cargo ship right now. And I'm also thinking, well, I do have, well, right now, because I sold off some stuff and had some profits, I have 1.9 million space bucks. Actually, slightly more if you notice, if you can read. So I'm thinking I need to get a better ship. I'm just reading over the story of the combat freighter. Why? Why not? In reality, I went AFK for a bit in real life. I'll be coming back. In fact, I'm going to fast forward this through the power of editing. I bought a new ship, so time to start modifying some of these ships. I want to make sure all my ships, and this is another reason I don't want a large ship, all my ships have at least a burn speed, burn drive of 10 or higher, preferably 11. So the Spoon, or Spoon for short, is the next ship. And of course, the first thing I want to do is give it the capabilities of going faster. So that's why it has to, again, my speed doctrine, and yes, faster is better, but I do want some powerful ships. So again, it's a yin yang situation. I want minimum at least 10. So I can't have anything too heavy because it's going to be too far below 10 to upgrade it, which is why I'm having these small ships as well. And like I said, there's the maintenance money, all that other stuff, supplies. Having larger ships means you burn more supplies, which of course means more money. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I do have a few decent ships up there, and I'm thinking I need a few more. And if you notice, I also got rid of some of my older ships, and I'm going to get rid of some of my ships that have D mods in them. There's no reason to have D mods on any of my ships now, so I'm picking up all pristine ships. Why not? I have some space bucks. Let's pick them up. And I need cargo hold space. So new freighters without D mods is the way to go. I'm to the point right now where I don't need to be worrying about D mods or these lesser ships. And then I could start outfitting my ships for real. And right now I'm kind of outfitting the ships. Most of these freighters shouldn't ever see combat unless I get jumped and they're pulled in for necessities. And again, even though they say they're combat freighters, they really aren't. But they have some minor useful points, so they're mostly defensive. I believe I give this one offensive weapon, and the rest are basically going to be relegated to escort duty. Point defense, and that's it. And that's fine because again, if they're entering combat, they need to be able to do something. But I'm not willing to risk them, having to go into actual real combat. So I'm not giving them any real expensive weapons on the flip side either. Okay, so now there comes to my real ships. So I'm stripping some of them off, seeing if I can get better weapons for them. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm doing it anyhow. I'm putting all my weapons in my cargo storage, and then I'm going to take them out. And I'm kind of rearranging my cargo storage and my inventory the way how I want them. I'm going to sell off the blueprint, the surveys I don't need. And I'm going to give it to Try Tachyon because they're kind of needing surveys and planets. But I'm not going to give them valuable stuff. So I'm keeping the valuable stuff and giving them the junk stuff. Better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. And I still need to make profits, so I'm going to start smuggling still. And it's kind of funny. He says, but I'm at 1.8 million. At the beginning of this game, I was only like 126K or 130K. I have tons of money. Well, I still need more money. Trust me. Starting a new colony, it's going to be expensive. I think it's 1.5 million is the base figure I hear. You have to get a ton of colonists, which is a ton of crew. You need a ton of marines to do invasions. So I'm going to need more money. And of course, when I start going to that phase, I'm going to need bigger ships. And guess what? That takes more money too. And I'm still looking for one more ship to purchase. And guess what? That's even more money. And again, now I'm just kind of buying from the expensive vendor any type of weapons I think I may use, including capital weapons. So that way in the future, I'll always have them. Because sometimes they're RNG if they're there or not. So I'm picking up some. And on my capital weapons, I like range 900 to 1,000. Reach out and touch them before they can reach out and touch you. Now, ultimately speaking, you want have. I find that there's two basic designs of ships: specialized and general ships. A specialized ship does pretty much one thing. You can like have a sniper ship that does good amounts of damage, alpha damage, good range, but terrible for a sustained DPS up close. And then, of course, there's the exact opposite. There's the ships that have terrible range, but have really great alpha sustained DPS, not alpha damage, but sustained DPS. And then there's the general ships, where they could do both, but because they could do both, that means they're sacrificing a lot of points in two types of weapons: close range, long range, which means you're not going to have to be able to do everything as well. You'll have less points to be able to reach out and touch them. And when they get close, you'll have less points to do sustained damage, but you can at least do a little of both. And I see cruisers fitting the multi-class roles the best. I always consider cruisers to be like the well-rounded ships that they fill either long-range gaps, mid or short-range gaps. And then you start specializing on the other, like the frigates, destroyers. You specialize in either short range, long range, and the battleships. Same thing. You either specialize carriers or you specialize them as reach out and touch them, or you specialize them as short range, you know, high DPS ships. So with that, enough of me yabbling. Let's see. Let's watch what I'm doing here. So again, I'm kind of like buying stuff, rearranging my storage, and looking to make some additional money because I'm still debating on where to go and how to make more money. And let's find out what I do. So at this point, I just sold off, and I'm going to try and sell off. I have a lot of syringes with questionable liquids inside of them, so I need to sell them off. I'm looking to where I can make a profit. But in this situation, I'm going to go see my friends at Tritachyon since I'm near here. All right. But before we do that, notice what just happened. I significantly slowed down the game. Notice a few things happening here. On the left-hand side, there's a faction war with Aurora Federation with Tritachyon. Likewise, there's a market capture. The Ashel, I believe, the planet was captured. It was from the Luddic Church, but it's now the Persian League. So the Persian League is getting stronger. What's notable is the Aurora Federation is allies with the Hemenigi, I believe, or the Persians. I forget which. And the Persians are my enemies, which is bad news. But the Persians captured a planet. Now, Luddic Church I don't really care about, but they captured a planet, making them stronger. You know, again, these are my enemies. Now, let's resume the speed. I'm visiting the Tritachyon planet. Again, these are a system that is in trouble. I'm going to sell them system stuff with the terrorists on, so it won't lower their uh, productivity on this planet. If you sell something in the black market, it raises your suspicion level. It also lowers the stability of the planet, which is bad for the planet. Now, on the flip side, I'm still looking at the black market. I'm a naughty boy, but I sold the majority of the stuff in the standard market. So they'll get extra money for terrorists. The stability won't be affected as much. And I did buy this one ship. Again, I'm looking to buy one more ship, but I'm looking for weapons to outfit the ship. And I don't have the weapons yet. And I'm also looking for one more ship to round out my fleet. I want to purchase some additional stuff, but I don't want to take a faction hit. So I am going to break the stability and I get people chasing me around because it is. But again, my ships are fast, so I am able to outrun them. And time to buy some additional stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I already bought some of this stuff. I probably will take a faction hit no matter what, but such is fate. This is my decision. I don't know if it was good or bad, but I made it. Time to go to the bar, see if I can pick up a mission. There's this mission here. I don't see any money for it, but it's in a system I've never been before. So I say, why not? These are a bunch of people in robes, and they're looking to do a pilgrimage. I've never done it before. And some person wants to sell their carrier, light carrier, for 1,600 credits. Has no D mods, and I do need a carrier. Again, I was thinking about buying a cruiser, but I'll purchase the ship. I still think I need one more heavy puncher, but a carrier could be really useful to augment my. I have a shepherd. have a real carrier with real fighters. All right, I'm still looking to make a profit. I came here for a reason. Time, purchasing some additional Marines. I need a few more. And it says, this person looks really great. However, again, I'm not ready for combat, and hiring a person like this would just mean more excess money wasted. Having a few captains is fine. Having too many is terrible. And notice all these ships are after me, but because I'm faster, because I maintain at least a speed of 10 or faster, it makes me be able to outmaneuver them. And I can use the gates, and I'm going to use the gate to travel as close to my objective as possible. And just double checking my objective, and hopefully I'll uncover more gates, so that way I can go straight there. I'm just double checking where it's at. Time for gate travel. And I picked the system as close to it as possible. I said, okay, sure, why not? I'll go there. I delivered to people, and then they start. This appears to be a storyline, and I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that this storyline lets me convert to the Luddic Church if I wanted to. Even if I have bad reputation, they'll probably resolve me of it. Those church people are nice. I thank them, but no, that's not my goal for today. I decided to smuggle, and as I smuggle, I see a convoy. And it says, let me attack them. Luckily, my transponder's not off, so I'm going for it. This is from their point of view.
Inbound vessel approaching defense perimeter. 1 minute to contact.
Hail them.
Frequency's open.
Unidentified vessel. This is your final warning. If you maintain your present course, you will be fired upon.
Multiple fast movers detected.
It's more than one ship. I count bandits.
Sound general quarters. All hands battle stations. Prepare to return fire.
Now, from my point of view.
Action stations. Action stations. Set condition 1 throughout the ship. This is not a drill. Repeat. Action stations. Action stations. Set condition 1 throughout the ship. This is not a drill.
Did you have a few number of ships, so this isn't going to be exactly easy. But it's not going to be exactly hard either. None of their ships were tough. Seemed very tough. You do have a few frustrating ships. That phase ship was a bit frustrating, but I got it. And it was able to get away, but I'm still getting it. And it's almost destroyed, but it's a pain in the you know what. And I get to the point where I'm isolated by myself, and luckily this is a well-rounded ship, so I do have some decent short-range weapons, and this phase frigate is going short range. But the problem is it's getting to my rear too often. But here we go. I think I finally got it. It's almost dead, but it's not yet. It's getting frustrated. Luckily, I have some fighter support to help me out. And now its flux is gone. The ship's dead. I'm going to pursue them. I want to take them out. I smell blood. I kill them all, and I take all the cargo as I can. And nothing of note that I want to capture. Okay. You know, again, I'm trying to, anytime I see him managing, I'm going to take the shot or the Persian League. They're my two enemies that right now. Luddic Path is like neutral. They're like bandits. The Luddic Church, Luddic Path, I don't really care for them, but I don't consider them active enemies. On the flip side, I don't mind if I hurt them on as well, but I'm not actively looking to hurt them. I'm seeing if I can make any profits here. Bunch of D mods. I don't want any D mods on my ships right now. Okay, I haven't got the gate for this system. Time to get the gate. Remember that story point I used? Well, there's a mission I could pick up here. I almost pick up this officer, but I decide not to. I have a lot of missile specialization, and I don't have any ships that use missiles. And I know some people really like missiles, but eh. And then I had that mission. It says, well, again, I don't recognize. I've never done this, so I said, let me 3,600 credits and a story point. I'll try it, and it gives me 100% EXP. Why not? Why not, indeed? Again, this is something I've never done before. Is this the right thing to have done? I don't know. You tell me in the comments below if you think I wasted skill points here. There's two possible skill points I might have wasted. Again, I get an infinite number, but they're going to get less and less frequent, the number of skill points I get. So I don't want to use them very often, unless I have to. All right, my transponder's off. Time to sneak into this planet. And looks like I can make it. Kind of close. Turn in my objective. Actually, I don't think I have objective, so I'm just going to purchase stuff here. He says, okay, I can possibly sell stuff here for a profit. I'm just looking to see if there's anything I want. Now, there's a reason I'm taking this a little slow. I decided to go to the fleet, see what ships they want, and oh, they have one of these big ships with no demons. Plus, it's one of those XIV ships, which are specially built ships, which are slightly better, and also more expensive. And no, again, no demods. I buy it. It's exactly the ship I needed for a small fleet like myself. Look at it. Yes, this will be my new flagship. And I move the carry up front. Might as well arrange the fleet to the way I want it. I'm going to try and outfit as best I can. And I'm also rearranging the ships to my officers. And remember, I don't want too many officers right now, and low level officers are the best for me since they require less funds to upgrade or to upkeep. And I'm looking at different weapons. Ooh, I could do a lot. I'm going to be fast forwarding it because even though I outfit the ship a little bit, I'm going to re-outfit it later on. Spoiler warning. At the last part of this is just me outfitting the ship or the fleet. My temporary home base is the prison Freeport in this sector. It's in the middle of the core worlds. Plus, it's an independent, and no one tends to attack it. And it also has a place where you can purchase rare commodities, ships, and weapons for a high price. High trader, trader, not traitor. High expensive goods trader, trader. Now I could purchase some of these big ships, and I want to, but again, I have to remember I want to keep a fleet size of at least a burn rate 10, preferably 11 minimum. I want to explore the galaxy because I'm looking to colonize the planet, and I need to keep my supplies and maintenance down. Getting large ships, even the ones I purchase, is going to increase my upkeep, my maintenance per month, the number of supplies I need per day, which ultimately means more supplies and slightly more fuel I'm using. Again, that's more space bucks I'm going to be losing. Supplies and fuel, is essentially space bucks. So having more crew, having more supplies I'm using, having more fuel, also having a larger signature, it's going to make smuggling a little harder. They're going to notice me a lot harder, easier, I should say. And if you notice, sometimes I snuck into a planet because I had ships that were able to stay under the radar. The larger my fleet is, the larger the ships are, the more noticeable I am to radar, and the further out their sensors can see me. As a result, keeping a smaller fleet, and also a smaller fleet, makes it harder for the enemy to see you further away with your transponder off. It's useful for smuggling missions, which is what I'm doing. All right, so I'm outfitting the ship, and I also got a story point. Where should, or not a story point? I need to outfit my ship, right? Refit it. So I'm going to fast forward through lots of this. Let me know in the comments what you think of my refits are. And I'm going to be refitting multiple of my ships. All right, before I end the episode, I'm going to run a quick simulation on my ship. I just outfitted the ship. It has decent long range punch. Again, I think of this as a well rounded ship. It has decent long range punch, moderate, medium to short range punch. In the fickle, it could kill a ship that gets up close, and also has some point defense weapons. It does a lot of everything but nothing specialized. And I'm facing its own variant to see if the ship I made is something useful. And again, because of the mods I picked and also the skills I picked up, look how far my weapons, even my medium to short range weapons, are reaching. Holy cow! And because I'm reaching out to, the ship, my enemy can't even reach me before I start damaging its flux and shields. I need to get a little closer, and the ship's backing off. Luckily, this ship has one ability that I'm just about to use. It has the ability to drive forward. However, I'm just testing out the main weapons to see if they're even useful. I have one of the large weapons as a anti-shield weapon with EMP. Doesn't do great amount of damage to shields. It still does more damage than a standard armor or weapon. However, the EMP is its true, power. So I use the burn drive, move forward, turns on my shields though. But luckily this ship has a really great armor. So I raise them up and I start attacking the ship. I'm not even trying to maneuver and make myself useful. I'm just attacking it straight on. Look at it go. Now look at it. Even with all those hits, it's still not dead. This is a beefy ship. So this is well worth the price. And the enemy had torpedoes that fired at me. My flux, in fact, I'm fluxing out. Luckily, I've destroyed some of its weapons, so the enemy can't use weapons. So I'm venting my flux, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I have the armor. I should be able to take it. I'm not scared of a half-destroyed ship. And I raise my shield right before a torpedo hits me. A hit with the torpedo can still be deadly or very damaging. And the game likes to throw these little small asteroids, and my ship is so powerful it destroys one of those asteroids in a volley or two. My capital guns have great range and great shot per hit, but have lower DPS than most of my lower ordnance, medium to short range weapons. And you'll notice that pattern a lot. Long range weapons tend to have higher ordnance and less damage over time or damage per second than medium to short range weapons, which tend to have slightly higher damage per second or very significantly low ordnance points. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's that time of the day where I'm going to have to end the video. It's been long enough, and I'm sure you're ready to watch my next video. It really does help the channel if you hit the like button and make a comment or even an emoji. It really does help me and the channel a lot. It's that time of the video where I'd say adios. Thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, I really like to say thank you for staying at least this long or skipping to the end. I really appreciate it. Better yet, the YouTube gods seem to enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon to notification alerts. It really does help content creators like myself. I need the help. If you have any suggestions about my YouTube content or my channel or about this video, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment. Regardless, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay safe, be entertained, enjoy life, and until next time, adios, goodbye. Hope your RNG is better than mine. Thank you.
All hands, initiate shutdown sequence.